Hi, welcome to the Realtors Conspiracy Podcast, where we crack the code to real estate success. I'm here again with Trisha Ross today, and she was a stager before. She's an interior designer, very successful here in Burlington, and she's going to talk today about little details or interior design changes you can do to sell your house faster and attract more buyers. Hi.
Hi.
So tell us about interior design, like how staging and interior designs are different.
So staging is really about, I think, presenting a home in the best light to sell that home. It's not about how you experience living in the home. So when we stage, we think about the camera more so than actual practicality or function. Interior design has a lot more to do with function and how a family lives and uses a home, not only the aesthetic.
How does your mind go when you're interior design when you walk into a home?
That's a big question. I think the home speaks first.
Okay.
So I'll get a vibe, I'll get a feeling about what's going on in that space and what it needs. I kind of quickly see what's wrong.
Okay.
And then getting to know the homeowners is really important. How do they live? Who are they? How do they want to feel in each of the rooms of their home? And the process sort of starts from there.
Okay. What are big impact design-wise that you can do to sell a house faster?
Color is a big thing. So when we're thinking about selling a home, neutralizing is important, and then using pops of color that draw people in or attract the majority of people.
What would be the best bang for your buck? Where to spend the money in interior design to sell a house?
I would say first have a designer consult with you on paint colors.
Okay.
So there are, of course, many, many colors, and there are also many, many shades of white, of gray, of beige even. It's not so simple as just saying paint my walls off-white. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely advise a consultation to pick a great color with a great undertone. That would be the first place to start.
And then after the paint, where do we spend money? Like, what's important?
I think the kitchen is probably the number one room in a home for two reasons. So I think the statistics say that there's 110% ROI on a kitchen renovation, something like that. But I think that for most people, the kitchen's the heart of the home, and it's something that they notice that has a huge impact. Yeah. I think also, though, that for buyers, they're often looking at homes that are close to the top of their budget. So, going into an unrenovated kitchen can scare a buyer. Yes, they think, oh my gosh, how much is it going to cost me to renovate this to a standard that I can live with?
Yeah. What are the details you can do in a kitchen to make it better, other than small things? Like if I have a good enough budget, what can I do that I must do?
So quick fixes would be updating hardware. You can, if you've got sort of builder grade old knobs, those can be updated and that will help. Backsplash is also
that's cool.
A quick way. If you can't change out your cabinets, which is more costly, then maybe updating the backsplash can offset the cabinets in a better way. And then the counter would be second thing that I would say. If you've got an old counter or a laminate counter, consider upgrading to a quartz counter. Maybe even, shop around, find a deal, and that'll have a huge impact.
Cool. If you have unlimited amount of money to spend,
call me. Call me first. So with an unlimited budget, then I would still say the kitchen.
Okay.
Redo your kitchen.
Okay.
Hire an interior designer.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. And then other rooms, what would be next?
The master bedroom is pretty important.
Okay.
So when people are shopping for a home, it's often a husband and wife, not necessarily, but often, and maybe they've got some kids, but they really think about themselves first and how they're going to experience the home. So master bedroom, master bathroom, those are important rooms. Okay. Most homeowners can live with smaller kids' bedrooms because it doesn't directly affect them, but they would like
kids
their
are small, so they can
that's right, they'd like their master bedroom to be a good enough size for their bed if it's a king, for their dressers, have a nice walk-in closet very often, and then a functional and beautiful bathroom. Another big ticket item, so an unrenovated master bathroom can frighten a new buyer.
Okay. And then on a smaller budget in the bathroom, is it the same as the kitchen, hardware?
It would be the same thing. Update your faucets. That's the first thing that I see, those, old builder faucets that really take your house back to 1982.
Yeah.
So updating the faucet would be great. And then, if you've got the budget to update some of the tile work, that would help.
Okay.
New glass around a shower,
Cool.
if it isn't already a glass shower, will also help.
Nice. Very cool. Basement, unfinished basement, finished basement. Should we spend the money for selling?
My knee-jerk answer is no. It doesn't usually, if you had to allocate the money somewhere, the basement wouldn't be my first choice.
Okay.
Some buyers don't mind an unfinished basement. The majority of them would prefer a finished basement, but as long as they can see the space and it's functional, outfitting it with a full media room and bar and trampoline and pool table and all these things, that's very nice.
Yeah.
But if you've got a lousy kitchen and an ugly ensuite bath, it isn't going to help you sell your house.
And then now that brings me to finishing a basement. If you're meeting with someone and it's for sale, if I say, I want to finish my basement, everything else is gorgeous, like how do you go about it? Do you do it in-law suite? Do you do it as a kitchen bedroom, or do you do a media?
I don't think there's one generic answer for that. I think it depends on the neighborhood that you're in. I think it depends on the price point that you're in. And your agent should really be able to tell you who your buyer is.
Yeah, very cool. Landscaping, like front door, porch.
Yes.
Front and backyard.
Back to that first impression. So the front of the house, people driving by see that. When a buyer pulls up for the first time, this is what's setting the tone of your home.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important that it's clean, that it's well maintained, the grass is cut, some fresh flowers outside. You don't have to pay a landscape company to fully redo the front of the house. Mm-hmm. In most cases, there are some small things that you can do at your local plant shop.
Yeah. Would you work with a realtor to go on a listing before a listing presentation to guide them on what to do, how to get the listing? I guess the top one. Yeah, so
to help the agent or to help the...
to help the agent get the listing. Would that be beneficial in any way to talk to an interior designer?
I think maybe in some cases, maybe homeowners would like some advice, especially if they're open to doing some updates. Okay. I think they want to feel like they're spending their money the right way.
Yeah.
And I think it's also helpful in some cases to assist buyers when they're visiting a home, especially a home that they know needs renovation, to sort of help them envision what the potential is for that home, what they could do, and on what budget.
So I guess realtors should be more educated on design and all that. Everything we just talked about, they should be able to guide the buyers and sellers.
I think that the realtors who have an interior designer in their back pocket, on speed dial, they have a bit of an advantage because they can offer that level of expertise to their clients.
Very cool. Anything else that that's important to mention about interior design, selling faster? We talked about function just a little bit, and with that I would say that we tend to live in our homes and we stop noticing things that ottoman that we bump into constantly. Yeah. You don't notice it because it's part of your daily lights in the bathroom.
That's right. So I think having somebody else come in and experience the home and give you a professional opinion, relocate the ottoman so that your visitors walking through don't bump into that and feel like the space is too tight, the space is too small. Yeah. So kind of a functional analysis.
And that brings me also the maintenance. If you're trying to sell a house, there's things you don't notice. And what are the maintenance things that people stop noticing? Light bulbs,
number one. Yeah. You need to take an inventory of every light in the house and make sure that they work. Because your buyers, it's one of the first things that they notice. Nice. So all the light bulbs need to be working. That's a really simple and easy one. Yeah. As well, things like silicone or caulking. So often those crack at the back of our counters, around bathtubs. So just touching that up, you don't see it anymore, but your buyer will.
What else do buyers would love to see, or what's the big impact for a buyer?
I think it's the overall experience, because people don't think like a designer. They're not dissecting a home; they're just perceiving it. Yeah. So we as people in the field need to understand how the majority of humans experience a home. Yeah. And that's why we do things like lighten up the walls for selling, because the majority of people like it. polish your faucets, polish your appliances. People like to see clean. We know that.
Yeah. So first impression, outdoor, come in, paint, update here and there, and then buyers will just fall in love.
I hope so.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thanks for your advice.
You're very welcome
today. Thanks for tuning in to Realtors Conspiracy Podcast.